We got our drama, we got the awkwardness right back to where we started with no resolve. What's up, people? Naturegirl 30 here, and this is my review of Girl Meets New Year's. Guys, we are pretty much at the edge of season two's finale. We are coming close to the very end, a few more episodes to go, but we had to come back to where it all started. Well, pretty much after it started. I will say this. I hated Farkle in this episode. Excuse my language, but Farkle was a complete dick in this episode. There was no rhyme or reason why he had to rat out Riley. Not to mention, he didn't even have the least bit of remorse for doing so. He thought it was the right thing to do since he's with Smackle, and it was nice to see Smackle on this episode tonight. There was mentions of them actually being together, even though we didn't necessarily see the relationship blossom. But all of a sudden they are, and we have to accept it. And they're the most awkward couple there is. I'm not going to blame Smackle. I understand her condition. But Farkle is just a complete meh. But it's Farkle. Come on. But despite all that, I will say the most endearing person, I guess maybe borderline creepy, was Charlie. Charlie at least put in some effort, and they have a lot in common. I absolutely love Charlie, and he's a great person for Riley. But the one thing that bugged me about Farkle is that Farkle didn't allow Riley to choose. If he knew his best friend and understood his best friend, then he wouldn't even bother to interfere. He would allow her to make the decision instead of him make a decision for her. But the funny thing is, nobody cursed him out. Nobody told Farkle that he was wrong. Nobody was the voice of reason here. And not to mention, no Zay in this episode. This is supposed to be the aftermath of Girl Meets Texas. So Zay should have been here. I don't know why he wasn't here at all. I don't know what was going on. And honestly, it seemed like it was going to find some resolve. And that's the one thing that I was going to be happy about. Don't get me wrong. The anxiety level was high for this episode. I was actually kind of interested to see who was going to end up with who. I knew we weren't going to get any kissing because, hey, it's Disney. But I really wish that, well, I kind of wish that Maya and Lucas tried. Lucas hasn't learned anything in the last two seasons. He's a complete diss in this whole episode. He's supposed to be the cute guy, but he hasn't learned anything. It would have been nice that he actually did find some good qualities in Maya, because you can tell that there is some. Hence why he's interested in her. But none of that came out. They're both awkward about their feelings, and I guess I understand of how awkward it is. But at least Charlie kind of has some endearing traits about her, and they went on a few dates. She seemed like she liked Charlie and admired him, but I noticed she was kind of stuck in where she was. So at least she was honorable in letting him go, knowing that she wasn't really sure where she was. But how Farkle took a step in and made that decision for her was wrong. There was really no growth here. It went back to the awkwardness. And at this point, I have no idea whether or not they're going to actually have a season 3. And I hope they do, because I kind of want to see some resolve here. But honestly, I don't know where it's going to go next. I'm kind of interested to see where it goes, but it's only so long this thing can drag out. And I really did want to see some sort of interest in either couples. It seemed like that Maya and Lucas has problems with confessing their feelings, even though he had no problems in confessing his feelings to Riley. He has problems in confessing his feelings to Maya, even though he does have a crush on her, and that was kind of acknowledged by Zay in one of the episodes. But the thing is that how long is this going to go, man? And I really hope that Charlie doesn't completely disappear out the picture, because Charlie has some great qualities. And the one thing that kind of bothered me about the episode is they really did try to make Charlie creepy. And that's the one thing I have issues with some sitcoms. They try to make the creepy guy and the good guy and then the bad guy. But in this case, the bad guy was Farkle, the creepy guy was Charlie, and the so-called good guy was Lucas, even though Lucas has a lot more to learn than Riley does. The one thing I really hope is that I was hoping that they didn't make Charlie that creepy, but they made him a little creepy to where he was like pretty much stalking her. But I'm like, he's just a very admirable guy, very sensitive, and guys that pays attention to everything that person that he likes does. He actually is interested in everything she has to say and what she has for her day. Not to mention the fact that they have a lot in common. Her goofiness is probably something that he actually likes to do, as well as him actually acknowledging the fact that she's goofy and she actually likes the whole fluffy clouds and unicorns. He likes that. Well, Lucas is a man's man. So he has a lot more in common with her. And I'm hoping that they don't completely close Charlie off at the graduation. I'm hoping that there's some sort of window that's going to be open and maybe she should try something new. I'm hoping there'll be a little bit more growth before the graduation and maybe some better understanding. And the sad part is there was actually something that was starting to develop between Maya and Lucas, but Farkle kind of ruined it. Farkle was pretty much the buzzkill of this entire episode. Him and Smackle. I like Smackle, but there was no interest in her being there except for the girlfriend. There was absolutely nothing at all, but I like the way she curses out Lucas. Kind of makes me happy there. But Farkle was a real, evil bad guy here. He didn't really do anything right, and I don't know why anybody just didn't curse him out. Or at least say, look, you're wrong. Or have Maya find out and actually go to Farkle and be like, look, it's her decision, not yours. But nobody was the voice of reason here. There was so many things that they could have done with this episode to make it better, but it just wasn't. It was interesting how they didn't really have Corey starting off with a lesson at first. They actually had their literature teacher starting off the episode, which is completely interesting, and I'm fine with that. But there was no growth here. It went right back to square zero, and we have no idea. At least I don't know at this point if they're going to have season 3. I know that Rowan Blanchard actually teased that there was going to be a love triangle in high school, but honestly, there's only so far this love triangle can go. I just want to see some growth between these characters, and it was so much throughout these 2 seasons. I hope it just doesn't go away because of this stupid love triangle. But guys, my overall thoughts is this. This episode should have had a closure. It should have had a starting of the new year, something new, not drama. It should have had a new beginning, new awakenings, new feelings, new emotions, new experiences, new adventures. That's what this should have been. But it went back to where it was, A Girl Meets Texas, and no resolve for the new year. And it's disappointing. It shouldn't go that route to the whole love triangle holding on to the entire series because it won't last. And it just made me sad that there was no resolve. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts about this. Leave a comment in the comment section below, or a video response if you still do it, about your thoughts about Girl Meets New Year. I'm just disappointed. I really thought it was going to be a whole new start to the new year, but instead they decided to go back to where it was, back at Girl Meets World, drama. And don't get me wrong, I like some drama, but I like some resolve too. And resolve in this episode would have been better. I'm the Nature Girl 30, signing off. Peace out, guys. Later. I almost forgot. I actually was going to make this announcement in the beginning, but I'm just going to go ahead and make it now since my review is over. But guys, I actually did have an inspiration from my other YouTube channel, Nature Girl 30, which is my wrestling channel. And I'm actually going to leave a card up above for those that are interested. But anyway, I actually did get an inspiration from someone in my Q&A for that channel about making a possible top 10 Girl Meets World best and worst. But instead of making a top 10, since it's 3 seasons, possibly 3 seasons I might add, I do not know, I have not got a confirmation yet, but with the possible 3 seasons of Girl Meets World, I have decided to make a top 3 Girl Meets World best and worst list. I already got my worst. The best is pretty freaking hard, but I decided to make it top 3. So it'll be a top 3 best and worst on Thursday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. I have decided to actually make that. So you guys stay tuned for that video. It will be coming out December 31st on Thursday. So stay tuned to that way before midnight. Nature Girl 30, guys. Peace out. I'm gone now. Later.